여러분 안녕하세요. 아침입니다. 오늘은 아침에 운동하는 이유가 오늘 밤에 드디어 리니지2M이 오픈하죠. 제가 밤 10시에 퇴근을 하는데 밤 10시에 퇴근해서 이제 집에 오면은 11시에요. 근데 이제 막 운동하고 씻고 하면은 12시가 넘습니다. 오픈과 동시에 이제 달려야 되는데 그래서 미리 운동을 하겠습니다. 배가 너무 고파요. 제가 아침으로 두유 하나랑 사과 하나 먹거든요. 다이어트 중은 아닌데 집에 음식이 없어요. 배고파요. 지금 이거 끝나면은 사과 2개 먹을 겁니다. 운동 끝나고 수영 가야 돼요. 수영 강습 1시간 받고 오늘 구름이 좀 많이 꼈네요. 일단은 스트레칭 위주로 운동하고요. 팔굽혀펴기 뭐 할까? 아, 아, 일단 CNN을 틀도록 하겠습니다.
Bold. So colorful. That's so Sri Lanka.
Every politician lies.
Republicans passed the biggest tax cut in history.
That's wrong.
We have the cleanest air. No.
Some of his defenders will say, you guys in the media make too big a deal out of this. What's at stake?
All the President's Lies, Thursday on CNN.
오늘 진짜 하늘 너무 이뻐. 진짜.
Making connections. Some connections are easier to make than others.
햇빛이 너무
Here at Partner Hotel, the world is always at your fingertips.
오늘 구름이 막
Connected to your world. No holds barred.
Out front tonight, hypocrite in chief. So let me just put it to you straight,
햇빛이
Senator.
너무
Some
강해서
Democrats,
커피
they're
마시지.
getting their butts kicked.
No nonsense.
Are you simply shooting the messenger because you don't like the message?
Facts first.
How stupid do you think we are? Allies in Washington are covering for him, and they shouldn't get away with it.
Because getting to the truth matters.
The Washington Post went and confirmed the date of that hearing. So you're telling me unless I go back in the time capsule, you're not going to believe it?
Aaron Burnett out front, Saturday on CNN.
I'm Ben Wiedemann at the Great Pyramids of Egypt, and this is CNN.
A very warm welcome back. I'm Ita Suarez.
I'm Cyril Vanier. Here's a look at your world headlines this hour. A stern response from Beijing to the landslide win by pro-democracy candidates in Hong Kong's local elections. China's foreign minister emphasized that Hong Kong will always remain part of China's territory. And he warned that any attempt to destabilize the city will fail.
The U.S. Justice Department plans to appeal after a federal judge ruled that former White House counsel Don McGahn must comply with a congressional subpoena and testify before House lawmakers. The judge said the president does not have the power to excuse any aide from taking an action that's required by law.
A manhunt is underway after thieves made off with priceless, historic jewelry in Germany. Police say this video shows them snatching the treasures from a museum in Dresden Monday morning. Experts say the jewelry is so rare, it's hard to put a price tag on it.
Now, police are investigating the death of K-pop star Guhara say they found a note in her living room.
와,
Fans are coming out to mourn. This 28-year-old
구하라 자살한 거
This is the
CNN에
second death of
나오고
a popular
있습니다.
female K-pop artist recently. Her close friend Sully was found dead at her home in Seoul last month in what police said was an apparent
뭔가
suicide.
이렇게 소름
CNN Paula
돋네요.
Hancock joins us now with more from Seoul. Paula, what more do we know about her death?
제가 예전에 그 회사에서
Well, Lisa, at this point, please say that they
자살
are
예방
investigating the death.
교육을
They
받은
say
적이
they
있어요.
have found a note which
보통
they
이게
presume to be a
우리나라 같은
suicide
경우는
note.
자살
Of course, it comes so quickly, as you say,
예방에
after Sully's
관심이 별로
last
없었잖아요.
month. So it is raising
근데
some
원래
very strong questions here in South Korea.
우리나라 사람들 이렇게 뭐 음식 먹을 때 와 죽겠다 맛있다 야 뒤진다 막 이런 얘기 진짜 많이 해요. 근데 막 외국에서는 이제 데드, 다이 이런 얘기를 잘 안 한대요. 그래서 이제 혹시나 누군가가 막 죽겠다 다이 뭐 이런 얘기를 하면은 되게 심각하게 받아들여서 이제 막 왜 무슨 일이 있니 뭐 약간 이런 게 잘 되는데 우리나라 같은 경우는 뭐 죽겠다라는 소리를 그냥 쉽게 말하니까 그런 차원에서 예방이 좀 덜 된다고 예전에 한번 교육을 한번 간 적이 있습니다. 여러분 주변을 잘 둘러보셔야 돼요. 자살을 막을 수 있는 건 주변 사람들밖에 없대요.
And as I say, please say that they do have a note. We do know that just last month she had been, or earlier this year, she'd been mired in a legal battle with her former boyfriend, who was allegedly trying to bring a sex video to the public, and she had been fighting that. According to her attorney, the boyfriend was found guilty of blackmail and assault and given a suspended sentence, but she was under an immense amount of pressure during that. In fact, just days before she was meant to testify.
아직 재판 중이죠.
She was found back in May unconscious at her home. It was believed to be an attempted suicide.
자, 그런 류의 협박이나 이런
we understand that she had just posted on her Instagram goodbye.
그
and
판사님들께서
after that she was hospitalized on that occasion and apologized to her
설레를
friends
남겨주셨으면
afterwards.
좋겠습니다.
But unfortunately this time it does appear as though it was once again an attempted suicide, or at least this is the assumption that many are working on. And of course it does raise questions about the pressures of the K-pop industry, also the pressures as we have been hearing from negative online comments, from cyberbullying. And this came up just a month ago with Sully as well, this issue of cyberbullying. Back then Kakao, which is the main news service here in South Korea, had actually disabled all the comment sections to try and prevent this kind of cyberbullying. Now that did get some applause from some mental health experts. They said it is a step in the right direction, but there is still a long way to go. Isa?
Yeah, I was reading as well that there was an online petition to the office of President Moon Jae-in asking for harsher punishment, Paula, for sexual harassment, and that has more than doubled to 217,000 since her suicide was reported. So it'll be interesting to see what government can do following on from this online petition and following on from these several instances now of suicides or apparent suicides. Paula Hancock, thanks very much, Paula.
Now, Guhara's death is once again shining the spotlight on the dark side of being a K-pop idol. Just over a month ago, K-pop star Sully was found dead in a suspected suicide, as Isa was telling you, after struggling with bullying and trolls online. She was just 25 years old.
And in 2017, the K-pop world was rocked by the death of Kim Jong-un, also of apparent suicide. He left a note describing his crippling depression. He was 27 years of age.
Many believe that the culture of extreme pressure in K-pop is leading to mental health issues. Many of its stars, known as idols, are groomed for years before they can debut a song. Some rise to meteoric fame, which sadly can be short-lived. They also are subject to a huge amount of online abuse.
And like Paula was saying, social media has greatly increased the scrutiny that celebrities in the spotlight face. For more on this, I want to bring in Jeff Benjamin via Skype from Busan, South Korea. He's the K-pop columnist at Billboard. Jeff, thanks for being with us. You know, you and I, well, the three of us, in fact, we spoke, 6 weeks ago? So this is rather depressing and sad and shocking at the same time.
it's unfortunate to not to be on the show, but to be talking about this subject again.
Yeah.
Cyril, when we last spoke, you mentioned that there's a context to these events, and I think that's really important to keep in mind here. That of course, when you're a celebrity or an artist, pop artist, you're going to be subject to scrutiny, to people's comments. But I think there's something to remember here when you put it in the context of South Korean society, a society that has a largely high pressure society attached to it, a society where suicide rates are alarmingly high, the second highest among all developed nations. Frankly, I'm quite concerned why I'm here again to not only discuss something that seems to be happening too often, but why haven't there been changes made to protect these artists?
Jeff, you're in South Korea now, and you're also deeply involved, embedded in this environment with the fans. Can you tell us a bit more about the fan reaction and the emotion?
Yeah, I think similarly, I think they're wondering why haven't changes been taken to sort of protect the artists that are part of this. I talk a lot about how
맨날 CNN
the
틀어놨을
future
때
looks bright.
아시아 관련된 뉴스는 홍콩만 나왔었거든요.
Officials, they are giving
근데
their
이게
artists things like suicide prevention classes.
우리나라 소식이 이렇게 오래 나오는 게 보니까
But my question is, what's going on
좀
with
뭐가
artists
이상하네요,
who
느낌이.
are already dealing with what's happening?
Yeah.
Artists like Sully and Kuhara were quite in the midst of just all of this controversy, all these comments at all times. What's being taken with the artists right now? And I think a lot of fans are questioning and wondering what can happen now? What are the actions we can take now? And how do we prevent this so that the stars of today, not the stars of tomorrow are good, but the stars of today are being taken care of? And I think that's a question on everyone's mind for sure.
Jeff, let's just take a pause and take a listen to some of her work. Perhaps, Jeff, I know you obviously none of us want to be talking about this, but perhaps the fact that we're talking about this weeks ago, this will open the doors for people to discussing it, for change, for more controls when it comes to cyberbullying. Is this the expectation, at least from fans?
I think there's a lot of hopes. Yeah, I think we kind of what Paula was talking about earlier in the program, the changes that Kakao made to their commenting system. I think that's really strong and really bold of them to do in a particular way, and definitely a step towards change. And I can only hope that when these kind of events, unfortunately, are bringing the K-pop industry together. Many events are being canceled. Many people are sharing their condolences. The industry is on a bit of a hiatus right now to sort of mourn and pay their respects. But we can only hope that this is going to sort of lead to better results, better discussion, better communication, and sort of make the changes that are needed to sort of protect these young stars' health.
Jeff, appreciate you being with us. I would love to speak to you about more cheery topics, but thank you very much, Jeff.
Next time. Thank you, guys.
Guhara was 28 years of age. We'll be back to the break.
Let's just jump in the water. I think we should all go out. Let's definitely go out. Are you kidding? Gosh, it's beautiful. I'm sorry to take your picture without asking. It looks so cool. Do you play?
Why don't you come and join us?
What is this magical place? I gotta go today. Just one more day. So I met this girl
Lead. I'm Jake Tapper. We're going to begin with the politics lead, and one of the biggest bombshells today.
The straight talk you need.
That seems to be, to me, completely contradicting.
From your man in Washington.
It's all food for thought when you, in the public, are trying to decide who to trust.
Who won't back down.
We're getting a new look at the headwinds that congressional Republicans already are facing. A monumental day in our politics.
The Lead with Jake Tapper. Tuesday through Saturday on CNN.
The Hungarian capital Budapest is known for its stunning Gothic architecture, its dramatic history, and rich culture.
But dig a little deeper, and you'll find a city in the midst of a culinary revolution. CNN speaks to the chef who served up the city's first Michelin star with his restaurant, Kost.
There's a very famous quote, I think it was from Paul Bocuse. There's only two types of cuisine, the good and the bad one. I mean, that chef that doesn't like much to come to the dining room and talk to guests, because sometimes I don't really know what to say. So where I feel well is cooking, is in my little world. You know, it's where you can create, where we have freedom. One of the biggest compliments we can have here is somebody tells you, Miguel, I felt this dinner had the personality. And if I can incorporate a bit of Hungarian traditions here and there, I'm happy to do so. But that is not, that is not the golden rule here.
Hungarian cuisine originally had just one goal. It was always a pretty poor country. So the main goal was to stay alive. So it was very important to have lots of energy from the food. So it was originally based on potato and meat.
The hunting season here starts around September, and we have the young ones, the little deers, where we use the saddle mainly, where it's smaller and more tender. And then as the months go by, the animals get bigger, and then we go to roe deer, which is this ones with the horns, I believe. We chose this producer because it's very important for us to have happy animals between the possible. The flesh is much firmer. That is if the animal is stressed, and these ones, as you can see, they're stress free. They seem to be happy animals. For us, it's very important.
하급을 몇 개 했죠? 지금 몇 분이지? 17분?
We should cook for ourselves. We should do what we believe. He's not looking for awards. He's not looking for stars.
100개만 하려고 했는데 몇 개 까먹었어. 30회, 40회
the cherry on
까먹었어.
top of the cake, but that's not why we work 14, 15, 16 hours a day. That's not certainly why I wake up every morning.
20개 더 하고
to cook.
스트레칭하고 20개 더 하겠습니다.
We do what we believe in. So when people
100개 됐든
keep
120개
their
됐든
personality here, because probably they had something in a way they haven't seen, not in the city but anywhere else.
Another great Portuguese chef, Miguel Rocha Ferreira. Vieira, is that great?
Another great one.
After me. If only that does it for us. I'm Lisa Suarez.
I'm Cyril Vanier. Stay tuned. We've got World Sport up next.
どういうふうに地域を元気にできるかと、その場所が主役になるようなものを考えたいと思ったっていうことです。アートをきっかけとした地域づくりをやろうと、で芸術祭を考えました。
やはり若い人たちがアートを見にたくさん訪れるんですけど、地元の人たちがお米を販売する会を作ったり、漬物の加工所を作ったりして、新しいことにみんなが挑戦するようになりました。
アートフェスティバルの知名度のアップとともに、つまりという言葉が広がっていると感じています。地元産のそばの実を使ったビールになるんですけれども、地産地消というのを大きなテーマに掲げて進めていくことで、地域食材の良さとかそういったものの PR につながっていけばいいかなと思ってます。鈴の食文化というものが芸術祭、祭り御前というものに作り込んでいくうちに
それが商品化されて地域のビジネスにもつながっていっています。
芸術祭をきっかけに事業を拡大したいって思ってる企業さんたくさんあるので、本当にこだわって作っているサービスや製品をリブランディングをしたりとか、パンフレットを作ったり、ホームページを整備したりして世の中に伝えるお手伝いをしています。
地域の資源特色を明らかにする、それが地元の人たちに元気を与えるで活力が生まれていくわけですね。
Welcome to World Sport. I'm Vince Cellini at CNN Center. Europe's top football competition is back this week, and we'll see the return of Jose Mourinho managing a club in Champions League action. The new Spurs boss has a lofty goal as he looks to take the team one better this campaign by winning the competition after the North London club lost in the final last season. So this is how we're setting up in the Group B standings. If the Premier League club win on Tuesday against Olympiacos in Mourinho's home debut, then Tottenham can grab a place in the knockout round. On the eve of the match, there is no question how Mourinho views this challenge.
I love the competition as much as everyone in football. It's something that everybody dreams about win it. And not everyone has the privilege to be a Champions League winner, which I was happy enough to do it twice. Do I want to win it for a third time? Of course I would love it, but I know the difficulties of it, and in this moment honestly
이제 밥을 먹으러 가겠습니다.
it's not the moment to speak about it, it's the moment to qualify. Plenty of experience in the competition. I think is my game 148.